Dear listener, what are some facts about mangoes? That they are drupes bearing fleshy characteristics in a single pit where they hold their seed, much like peaches, apricots, cherries, and plums. They are also the same botanical family as cashews and pistachios. Originally grown over 5,000 years ago around northern India, Bangladesh, and what is now Myanmar, mangoes spread to East Africa, in the Middle East, and finally to South America by the Spanish explorers in the 17th century. Good for your gut, another source of fiber, good for your skin, hair, cholesterol, blood sugar, and a reliable source for vitamins A and C. And let's not forget the fact that they're just good eating. But what about potential? What about this fruit's ability to grow without following the process of seed germination? Like many fruit trees, mango trees have more than one way to continue their population, such as the simple act of grafting. Take a certain botanist who found a scion, which is a detached living plant, to attach to the rootstock of a healthy up and coming mango tree. It is a good scion, one with healthy buds sticking from the sides, even with a top that has been cut due to decay from when Hurricane Milton passed. The top has been sealed, meanwhile, the base of the scion and the top of the rootstock have a near perfect fitting, auspicious for a hopeful grafting. All that the botanist has to do to make this fitting possible would be to carve the base of the scion into a V shape while also cutting a V-shaped cleft in the rootstock. The scion, severed and isolated, could have been left to decompose into the soil, or it could continue to grow in some other way. Either destiny results in its integration with nature, but the botanist chose to give this scion an opportunity to once again grow. All it needed was a base and a guiding hand to realize its new purpose. After carving the V-shaped clefts, the scion and the rootstock fit, thus beginning integration. The top of the scion is neatly covered in plastic wrap so that the moisture would be well preserved. To ensure good adhesion, the junction of the scion and the rootstock will also be wrapped, and then to be placed in a spot where there would be enough sunlight for the rootstock, without the risk of overheating, a place of balanced shade and sunlight. And where can it be placed? Well, why not under a mango tree? Not too hot, not too cold, enough sunlight, enough shade, such weather you can appreciate during autumn in the subtropical biosphere. More importantly, the deed has been done. The scion is now attached and wrapped. All that can and should be done is to nurture its current state so that there may be growth, that there may be development, that there may be progress. Just because it is attached does not mean that it will fully integrate. Integration needs support, and from support, growth is possible. The botanist has now approached grafted the mango tree, the species being chokanon, a Thai variety. The grafting had occurred a few months before, and here it stands, mostly unwrapped. Of course, it is necessary to point out that to unwrap must have a measure of gentility. For a while, the two stalks are not as connected as expected, given the fact that the trees are not as attached as they are with other trees. It is mere experimentation, and one with positive results. Note the light brown line between the stalks, the cambial tissue, which connects the rootstocks to the scion. While this indicates a union of the two are not yet ready to be separated as trees of their own. No, the separation will take months, a separation that will occur gradually. Yet there must be evidence of good spring growth to indicate that the two trees are ready to separate. When it is time to separate the two stalks, a simple and careful undercut would do the trick. But until then, a few weeks will need to go by for the gradual process to begin. Will this union be strengthened so that the two trees may continue on their own? It is expected to be so. After all, the union is dependent on the two root system that the two stalks share. Each stalk contributes. However, the botanist does not stop there. As a preventative measure against some outside interference that might accidentally split the two stalks, the botanist used grafting tape to connect the top of the stalks as well. While the two stalks receive support from the botanist, both their root systems would suffice to assure the strengthening of their integration. So long as they are nourished, they will grow, and they will show signs of fortitude, whereby separation will gradually take place to the best judgment of the botanist. That is what unity really needs: commonality and nourishment. And the relationship between a scion and a botanist is not the only example. Every one of us can be a cultivator who can guide one to success, beginning with seeing their potential. Any one of us, whether a parent, educator, therapist, or even an average citizen who holds influence over friends and relatives, like the journey of the botanist, it takes learning, planning, work, and most importantly, dedication. The impact of effort depends on its rate of constancy, the frequency of trying and trying again. Potential cannot be realized without work, and if we want someone to become something greater, we must work to nourish their growth, to fit them with healthier company, and ensure that they grow in a balanced environment as best we can. Here we now have the botanist holding a severed piece of a Valencia Pride mango. He is ready for his next plan: air layering. It's ready to push, its potential evident, and most importantly, winter is on its way. So there is no time like the present to nourish another solitary piece for a greater purpose. He's got its own pot ready, a nice spot for warmth, and it will be safe from excessive sunlight. The botanist told me that he was no pro, yet he was nonetheless excited for this air layering, as he is equally excited for a whole lot more. I suppose that is one last thing to take from this review: that to cultivate something great from those with potential is one fun experiment. Imagine the greatness of your own abilities upon the inevitable results of said experiment. Therein lies the true fruits of labor, apart, of course, from a delicious mango.